Well, the Mavericks comeback falls short against the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll break down the good, the bad, and the ugly from tonight's loss right next on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. Welcome to the DLLS Mavs post-game show presented by Michelob Ultra. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra at 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's a superior smooth taste. We're playing for Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the NBA, and by Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying your NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DLLS for $20 off. Swipe, tack, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app. Dave, Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Corella. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs. The Mavericks fall tonight at home 101-94. A furious comeback falls short as the Mavericks use a 24-4 run to pull within one with under a minute left. Sees the Oklahoma City Thunder stave off a massive comeback as they score the final 6 points of the game to win 101-94 to move to 4-0 on the year. Mavs fall to 1-3 on the season and 1-3 on their 5-game homestand. Unfortunately, with tonight's loss, ensuring, I should say, that they have a losing homestand to begin the year.
Never a good thing.
Never a good thing. Of course, this is a season-long 5-game homestand for the Mavericks. They'll conclude that on Wednesday when they welcome in Rick Carlisle and the Indiana Pacers. We'll break it
also never a good thing.
Right, exactly. We'll break it all down here for you over the course of the next hour. Our DLLS Mavs beat writer Harrod Jr. will be joining us from the AAC later on in our show, as well as our national NBA insider, Marc Stein. But, Bobby, the Mavericks showed a lot of fight in that fourth quarter, was able to get some things going offensively, turned up the defense, but too little too late, unfortunately, as the Mavericks dropped to 1-3.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, and we'll get into all of it. But I think, it's been 4 games. Now, granted, tonight, Lively was out. Gafford hasn't played all season. Coop was basically out it was literally the first play of the game. He got tangled up with Hartenstein, and they were kind of arm wrestling each other, and he tweaked his shoulder. I don't know exactly what happened, but that dude was not the same after the first 30 seconds. But through 4 games, I don't know what this team's thing is. I don't know what their identity is. What do they do? This is a team that is supposed to be, again, dominant in the lane. Understandable, certainly tonight, going up against a team that has Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, 2 big dudes that you could get muscled a little bit, but the Mavs tonight went minus 32 in points in the paint. For the season coming into this game, they were minus 22 in points in the paint. So even before tonight, they were struggling there. They are significantly minus in points off fast breaks, too. I mean, this is a team, again, that wants to dominate the rim at both ends of the floor. Sorry, I'm having a hard time saying words right now.
You all right?
They want to dominate the interior at both ends of the floor, and then they want to get out and run. And, there were big moments, in transition last night against Toronto. And that was nowhere to be found tonight. I think one big difference is that Lively was out and Coop was hurt. Another one is that I was here tonight, whereas last night I wasn't. So I think tonight's on me. But, they failed to score 100 twice now. And I'm not sure that any other team has not scored 100 yet. That wasn't the case a few days ago. I'm not sure if it is at this point, but this is a team that is really, really struggling to score, to put the ball in the hoop, and they're missing easy shots and they're allowing too many. I just don't know what they do well right now, man.
I don't either, because they got crushed in the paint tonight, 68-36 in the painted area. You have a quarter of 18 points in the second quarter. That's not going to get it done. Yes, you had the 25-point fourth quarter where you held the Thunder to just 14 points, but we'll get to it in our next segment. The decisive turning point in this game was the third quarter where the Thunder outscored you by 12. And on a night where, yes, you were shorthanded, no Daniel Gafford, no Derek Lively II. Cooper Flagg had to deal with a left shoulder issue where at points he had to have it iced up and wrapped up on the bench, missing significant portions of this game. The Thunder did not shoot the ball great from the three-point line. In fact, they went 6 of 30 from downtown. You actually outscored them from the three-point line, which is 36-18 from the three-point line tonight.
That's not going to happen many times this season.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, that's a big issue.
Yeah. So the Mavericks, I mean, even with them outscoring them 36-18, only shot nearly 31% from three themselves. This was not a great display of offensive basketball, if you will, but the defense at the right moments and a big third quarter for the Thunder was able to get it done. Some of the other numbers from this game, Anthony Davis does begin his season with his 4th straight double-double. Only Victor Wembanyama, the only other player in the NBA with 4 straight double-doubles to start the year. Anthony Davis with 26 points, 11 rebounds on the night, going 5 of 5 from the line. Other guys in double figures, P.J. Washington, 15 points. Max Christie continues his strong start. He had 14 points, was a plus 10, going 4 of 8 from downtown, so knocking down another 4 threes in this game. Really the only Maverick that shot decently from the three-point line tonight. But at the same time, you get crushed on the boards, out-rebounded by 19. You got crushed in the paint. Isaiah Hartenstein had a lot to do with that. He had a double-double himself with 16 points and 12 rebounds.
He won a lot of 50-50 balls against AD.
And you took the words right out of my mouth. He definitely got to a lot of 50-50 balls, got all over the place. And those are some of the differences in this game. The Thunder making plays when they had to. The Mavericks not necessarily do it, but more importantly, they couldn't score.
Yeah, and that's the issue.
If you
can't score, then everything is so much tougher, and
yes,
everything becomes so much more important. Like the reason that we're harping on individual rebounds and like what you're shooting on the fast break, and tonight the Mavs missed 6 free throws. Like, you know, whenever 110 is like pretty good night. You know, they scored 110 points. Every single thing matters. Every rebound matters. Every loose ball matters. Every free throw matters. Every fast break matters. The Mavs have such a hard time getting the ball across midcourt, crying out loud. You know, on the pregame show we were talking about, they've turned it over coming into this game 17 times out of 112 chances being picked up full court this year. That's 1 out of every 6 times they're pressed, they cough it up. Like every possession is so precious, and whenever you have an open 3 and you don't knock it down, or you try and force the issue too much, or you miss a box out, you know, if you're going to score 120 or 130 like Mavs teams in recent years have been able to do, then those individual moments don't matter nearly as much, you know. But whenever the game is so low scoring, you know, and whenever you're going to be capped out most nights at 100 or 110, every single trip down the floor matters. And so you have to be,
and every free throw matters.
The F in, yeah. And I don't remember if I said this on the show or if I posted it on Twitter or whatever. But like for this thing to work, it does not matter who's in and who's out. Doesn't matter if it's all your best players or all your bums. Every single player has to play every single possession 100% at both ends of the floor every single time in order for it to work. There's no room for let up. There's no room for error. Your margins are so thin, and we're seeing the results of that. OKC played bad, dude.
Yeah,
if I was a Thunder fan,
great tonight. Yeah,
I'd be mad if I was a Thunder fan with the way they played tonight.
For sure, because they didn't shoot the ball well. They gave up that massive 24-4 run in the fourth quarter, but they found a way to win, and that's why they're 4-0 right now, and the Mavericks are staring down, having lost 3 of their first 4 games. We talked about doing the little things and doing things that you have to do to win games. The Mavericks were 16 of 22 from the free throw line tonight. That's not going to get it done. We mentioned getting out-rebounded by 19. That's not going to get it done. You definitely cut down on the turnover problem, where in this game you only had 8 total turnovers, but at the same time, the third quarter is where things got away from you, and more importantly, You shot 37.9% from the field. This team, when they're not scoring, is going to have to be really good on the defensive end. But Jason Kidd has said already this season that our offense is going to have to set up our defense, and they didn't do that tonight. And give credit, yes, to the Thunder, who get into passing lanes, force the issue a lot. This came down simply to the Mavericks missing way too many shots that they had the capabilities of making of. But more importantly, the lack of offense does not allow them to get what they need on the defensive end, especially when they needed it in that third quarter there.
They didn't get a lot of good shots. I mean, at least based on this. So quantified shot quality, I mentioned the stat a lot. I almost said a bad word.
Yeah, I heard you. That's all right.
So tonight, the Mavs' quantified shot quality, which is a stat that basically says if the average NBA player takes the shot based on closest defender, time on the shot clock, how many dribbles you've taken, things like that, where you are on the floor. If the average player took the shot, this is what they would shoot on that shot. The Mavs have the single worst quantified shot quality performance this year, that opening night game against the Spurs. Tonight was the 8th worst quantified shot quality performance in the NBA this year at just 48.2. And they still actually underperformed their expected effective field goal percentage. So that's 2 of the 8 worst shot quality games in the league, if you believe that stat. Generally, I do. I think it's a pretty good estimation of the quality of your shots. 2 of them have come by the Mavericks in their first 4 games of the year. And, you know, I think, I don't know if there's a way to track this in the database that I use, but if I had to guess, they got significantly better shots on average with D'Lo on the floor versus when he was off. There was a 14-point swing whenever he was on versus off, just in terms of plus minus. But, dude, I mean, they're still playing almost half the game without him. I mean, that's half the game of ugly shots.
Remember when I said in the pregame that D'Angelo Russell's an enigma?
Yes.
D'Angelo Russell tonight, after had the 24-point game last night, right? He goes 3 of 14 from the field, 1 of 8 from the three-point line. He scores 9 points. He had double-digit assists, had 10 assists in this game, and somehow still was a +7. That's also an indicator to you that plus-minus can be a little deceiving at times.
Oh, no, the offense ran way better, man.
But I'm just saying, like,
way better.
Yeah, the shooting, the counting stats will tell you he played an awful game, but his effectiveness on the floor will tell you that the offense was moving and playing pretty well when he was out there, to the tune of 10 assists and what was for him 30 minutes in this game, and he had 9 points.
So you want to know what it really tells you is how freaking desperate they are to have someone that can pass the ball.
Yes, who can
and
play
someone that
point
can
guard. Yes.
You don't have to be able to make a single shot. You can be awful. As soon as the ball leaves your hands, if it goes toward the rim, you can just throw it out of bounds. I don't care. But like, they need someone that can handle the ball. Tonight, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tonight was the 11th worst quantified shot quality performance by the Mavericks in the J-Kidd era. The single worst was their opening night performance. So they are putting up some real nasty shots this season so far.
Yeah. It's just, the numbers were all around. And I see you in the chat. Clay was awful tonight.
Yeah, it breaks my heart. I'm not ready to talk about that yet.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I want to acknowledge the chat because I see you in there. Clay, it wasn't good, man. 3 of 11 in 22 minutes. Just 8 points, was 2 of 6 from 3, was a -12. You could tell, especially in the first quarter, that they were trying to get up threes, whether it was Clay, whether it's Max Christie, who's actually been, really good from 3. They were trying to get the 3-point volume up. They wound up getting up 39 threes because we know that Oklahoma City likes to get up threes as well. So you're trying to keep up shot for shot, from the 3-point line. But at the same time, if you're going to be that inaccurate, it really doesn't matter how many threes you take, because shooting at a 30% clip ain't ever going to get it done in this league, shooting from distance, especially when this team doesn't shoot the ball well to begin with.
That's generally what they're going to do. I mean, they're not going to shoot 30% every night, but they're going to shoot 30% a lot more often than they shoot 40%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's another reason why, again, every rebound matters. Every time you turn the ball over because you dribble it off your leg, bring it up the floor, that matters. Like, they have less than no room for error. because they can't shoot, they can't pass, they can't dribble. Clearly, they can't score at the rim, and they can't keep the other team from scoring at the rim. They have a hard time defending the three-point line. If OKC just shot its average, the Mavs would have lost by 20 tonight.
And that's something we said coming into the season that I said specifically, I don't know if this team's going to be able to defend threes well.
Yeah.
And we've seen if you're going to be a good three-point shooting team, you could maybe have your way against this Mavericks team.
It's just tough, man. I mean, and you know, they're one, I feel like a really, really poor judgment call by D'Lo to take that three when they're down 3 with under a minute left. If they somehow come away with this game, we're thinking, oh, my God, they escaped. Oh,
right.
No harm, no foul. We're good, man.
Oh, no.
They needed that to galvanize the room and all that stuff. But now it's like, dude, you're 1-3, and it's Utah's about to win. Utah's going to be 2-1. Like, are you even going to, who are you going to finish it? You're ahead of the Pelicans right now. Like, that's it.
Well, it's still early. We're 4 games in, a lot more season to go and a lot more show to go here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, what the turning point was of tonight's game, a big third quarter that unfortunately doomed the Mavericks. And we'll get to your super chats as well. All that and more coming up next.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid unless you believe AJ Mitchell is a good basketball player. On Prize Picks, you can pick between 2 and 6 players, and you determine, you're choosing whether that player will score more or less than their projected stat line. That could be in terms of points, 2s or 3s made, rebounds, points plus rebounds plus assists, steals, blocks, any of those things. Basically, Victor Wembanyama, anything he does on the basketball floor, you're probably going to take more than. And the more you pick, the more you can win. But they also offer the flex play, so if you can get one of your picks wrong, but still win. Let's say you choose 4 guys, you hit 3 of them, 1 of them misses. Well, you're still taking home some sweet, sweet cash. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Shout out to Michelob Ultra. The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Unfortunately, no victory tonight, but you can still enjoy your Michelob Ultra. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra at 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's a superior, smooth taste worth playing for with Michelob Ultra, the official beer sponsor of the NBA. You don't want to feel bloated when you're drinking your beer. When you feel good, you want to be able to have some energy after you get done, especially with Michelob Ultra. The superior game meets superior taste. Grab a Michelob Ultra superior light beer as you cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra. No matter what you're playing for, make it superior at 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It will leave you feeling good even when your team loses a game.
Yeah, it's way more superior than the Mavs 3-point shooting.
That is very true.
In fact, I feel like you and I, if we were just hurling Michelobs from 25 feet,
we knock them
I feel like
down.
we could knock them down at a pretty good clip.
For sure. Unlike the Master. So shout out to Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the NBA. Mavericks fall tonight 101-94 at the AAC, dropping to 1-3 on the season and 1-3 on their overall homestand, which concludes on Wednesday when they welcome in, I should say, a banged up Indiana Pacers team. They're dealing with some injuries on their own. TJ McConnell, Obi Toppin, Andrew Nembhard dealing with an injury as well. So a banged up Pacers team will walk into the AAC on Wednesday looking for a win. The Mavericks, of course, played on the second night of a back-to-back. They beat the Toronto Raptors last night, dropping they dropped 139 last night and couldn't clear 95 tonight. That just gives you, there's that word again, enigma of the Mavericks and what they are. Look, we'll get to the turning point in a second, but one of the things that we discussed throughout the course of the offseason and into the regular season is that it feels like the Mavericks have enough talent to beat bad teams. Now, they didn't give a lot of indication of that when they lost to Washington Wizards in their second game of the year, but they come out, they have a big win against Toronto last night, but then you take on a team in the Oklahoma City Thunder who, yes, has SGA, yes, has Chet Holmgren, who had a double tonight, but no Jalen Williams, a team that's relying on SGA quite a bit to be able to give them the offense, not only for makes, but also for shot creation as well. And they didn't get a lot from a lot of other guys outside of Shea, Chet, and Isaiah Hartenstein, who I thought played really well in this game for Oklahoma City. But the turning point in this game came in the third quarter. The Mavericks had scored 18 points in that second quarter, but going into the third, still tethered and close to be able to give themselves an opportunity to stay within this game. But Bobby, they blew it open in that third with a 39-point period where they did the Thunder nearly 63%, and unfortunately ballooned a big lead from there.
Yeah, Shea had a really, really quiet first half. It felt like, honestly, the Mavs, I feel like the Mavs are doing a pretty decent job against him. PJ had some moments. I thought Caleb Martin came in, and what he did on defense was pretty good. Offense,
all right.
We will just never speak of. That missed three off the front of the rim that bounced sideways was really that was just mystifying.
It was gross.
But the Mavs had some moments. Najee had some moments against Shea, but then in the third quarter, he just came out and took it to another level. He was like, "All right, I'm done with y'all.
Yeah, I'm done with this."
And I thought Chet got off to a pretty good start. When the Thunder didn't end up with many points, but they ended up with just enough. But they have the thing, even whenever they were. AJ Mitchell was just throwing up some real garbaggio down the stretch, but then they were like, all right, enough is enough. Let's get it to Shea. And, they made enough shots that the game was over. But, the Thunder have the thing that they can go to. They have, they're missing Caruso. They're missing Jalen Williams. They're missing Isaiah Joe. They're missing guys that were playing. Obviously, Jalen Williams is, one of the best players in the NBA down the stretch and through the playoffs last season. But they still have the thing that they can spam. What is the Mavs' thing? What is their go-to thing? Especially late in games, but in the third quarter, the Thunder are making a push. You can feel the rope is getting looser in your hands. You're kind of losing it. All right, what are we going to do to put a halt to this? What is our go-to thing?
Defense wins championship.
That's such a that is such a staking your identity on that end of the floor is so passive. How are you going to take the fight to this team? This team is coming in and bullying you. They're building a 15, 20-point lead. The fans are chanting OKC. What are you going to do about it? Hope that they miss a shot? What is the thing they're going to do? And this same exact thing happened in crunch time. Now, granted, in crunch time, actually, the Mavs did make a couple shots. They had a nice ATO play for Russell where he got downhill to his left, made a floater. It was a pretty nice play. They had a couple other nice plays. Most of them were coming kind of in this sort of secondary break transition stuff. But what are they going to do with 2 minutes left in a close game? What is the thing they can rely on? What is their run stopper? What is their run starter? What is their thing?
4 games in, we don't know. We're still trying to figure that out. You saw it in last night's game. Cooper Flagg was able to get things going in that third quarter with his playmaking. Defense started to turn things around. You saw it in the Washington game. Cooper Flagg got things going, but relying on the 18-year-old to go get it for you, that's not a recipe, at least for me, to feel like you can win ball games because the 18-year-old shouldn't have to go get it.
But if he can do it, that's great.
It's great if he can.
But he can't do that yet.
But the idea is that you got all these veterans on this team that he can be able to play off of to be able to make things easier for him and to ease his way into this.
Yeah, but if he's capable of doing it, that's actually a great thing.
Yeah.
They need someone that is capable of doing it. And obviously, I don't expect him to be able to do that this year at all. If he can, that would be fantastic. I'm sure there'll be nights where he's hot, but it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 50. If you can get me a bucket in crunch time, hell yeah. But they don't have anyone that can do that right now. I guess their best play is just. I said before in the offseason, their best play is just post up for Daniel Gafford and hope that he doesn't dribble it. But right now, their best play is probably 80 face up from 18. Because that is a situation where he's not going to turn it over. You're not going to commit an offensive foul. There's no chance of dribbling it off your leg or forcing someone to make a tough read. He's never going to get double teamed in the middle of the floor or really anywhere else on the floor. But that you can get a semi-contested 18-footer off. Is that your best, most reliable shot? Well, if so, then that is bad.
Well, they might have to go, the Houston Rockets way of offense from a year ago, which was throw the stuff at the rim and everybody go get the offensive rebound and then get second chance opportunities. When you get Gafford, Lively, and AD all back, that might be your best offense. Let those 3 dudes, them big old dudes, go get a whole bunch of offensive rebounds and create second chance opportunities and go get offense that way. Because last year, what was the thing about the Rockets? Couldn't shoot worth a damn. But what they did was that they dominated on the glass and pounded teams on the offensive boards to get second and third opportunities to be able to create points. And it feels like in some ways that might be your best offense with how big this team is, because they're inconsistent with the ability to knock down shots. Max Christie has been your most consistent outside shooter, Klay Thompson, so far through 4 games. No one else from distance consistently has been able to really give it to you in that way. So your best opportunities are get it into the paint, let those guys go to work, and then be able to dominate on the offensive boards.
Well, tonight they were 18 of 37 in the paint,
Yikes.
and they had 6 offensive rebounds on 55 missed shots. So
that's not gonna cut it. And you're missing 2 of your 3 bigs, and you don't.
One of those bigs has a history of getting hurt all the time, and the other one is a fine offensive rebounder, but gets his butt kicked on the defensive glass. So, I genuinely like. There are a lot of good players on this team, but this team is not. There's no cohesion right now.
No. Shout out to the Thunder fan in the chat who says, I'm a Thunder fan, but I was impressed by the Mavericks.
Wow.
They could have quit being down 22, but fought and made it close. And that did happen. As we mentioned, went on a 24-4 run, got it to within 1 with under a minute left, but was not able to seal the deal. D'Angelo Russell taking that 3-pointer.
It was ill-advised.
I thought, yeah, you perfectly said ill-advised shot. I could have said other words, but more succinct. Shout out GM Ben with the $2 super chat. Just bought my tickets to see Mark Aguirre's number go to the roof.
Long deserved.
And that will happen in late January, as the team announced today for Mark Aguirre. Tyler with the $1.99 super chat. Is it just me, or is Klay killing this team?
Killing? I don't think so. I mean, he's missing open jumpers, which is bad, obviously.
Which at this stage of his
tonight
career,
really he was 1 for 5 on 2s, which is that is killing. Yes, that is killing your offense. The thing is though, like especially when they start the game with no point guard, everyone has to force everything. And I mean, I'm not excusing this from Klay, but I think Klay knows like he's going to get pretty short shifts to start a game, so like I'm going to get my shots up. He's going shot hunting from the opening tip, and he is not quick enough or explosive enough to create any separation. So basically, any time he's taking a shot that's not a catch and shoot 3, it's probably going to be a bad shot. You know, and that makes me sad to say, but like he's not that guy right now. He is a slow starter notoriously though. So
we know how good Klay has been throughout the course of his career. I'm just going to say it. It feels like he's just a ceremonial starter at this point. Like that's what it feels like for Klay, which is again second greatest shooter of all time. But Max Christie has been playing honestly lights out from the 3-point line. He came to the game 9 of 15 from 3. Tonight he was again another 4 of 8. So my man is 13 of his first 23 from the 3-point line so far this year, well above a 50% clip from downtown. So it was interesting that they started with Cooper Flagg, Max Christie, and Klay Thompson as your starting kind of backcourt / front court, and then you had AD and PJ Washington as your 4 and your 5. And Klay just did not play well. Now he'll have spurts in this season where he'll shoot the ball decently and have some good games, but as a consistent shooter, especially whether it's coming to mid-range and from the outside, I don't know how many more of those days are left for Klay Thompson, to be honest with you, at this particular point.
They need guys that can put the ball in the hoop. I mean, right now Christie is shooting it better than him and defending better than him. I mean, Klay is he's not able to stay in front of guys. He was getting beat in the Toronto game too. But you have to score. Like you have to score. You have to score. Defense literally means nothing if you can't score. This year, I mean, 100 is just like.
And that's with all due respect to Klay Thompson.
Sure.
That's with all due respect to Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
But jeez,
100 is kind of meaningless. Really, you need like 110 or 120 to win now with how well teams can shoot it. But this year, I did some research. This year, there have been 6 instances, including 3 times tonight, that a team has failed to score 100. The Mavs have done that twice. So 2 of the 6 times that a team has not reached a century, it's been Dallas. And it's been at home. That is not good. And it's against, so they've played 4 games. The Spurs and the Thunder are the two teams they have failed to score 100 against. Now, both of those teams are undefeated. Maybe the Spurs will win 60 games this year. I bet that they won't, but the Thunder, they probably will, right? The Spurs might make the playoffs. They probably will. They both play in the West. So the Mavs haven't scored 100 against a team from the West yet. They haven't scored 100 against a team from the playoffs yet.
Yikes, man.
You know, when I want to see them play well against a good team.
It's funny.
And I don't know when it's going to happen.
I don't know when that's going to happen. I mean, the minutes distribution real quick before we go to break. So the only players to play fewer minutes than Klay Thompson tonight, Jaden Hardy played nearly 21 minutes, and Caleb Martin played 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Klay played 22 minutes and 22 seconds. Those are the only players that play fewer minutes than Klay. So it just gives you a little bit of idea on his effectiveness or lack thereof, unfortunately, to start the season. And I need him to turn it around. I want him to turn it around.
Mavs need him to turn it around.
Mavs need him to turn it around.
They need guys that can shoot.
They need his spacing on the floor. Let's take our next break here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we welcome in our DLLS Mavs beat writer, Ron Harrod Jr., live from the AAC to get his thoughts and perspective on what Jason Kidd had to say after tonight's game. All that and more coming up next.
Do you feel it? Because I know I do.
Can you feel it?
Fall is in the air. The leaves are changing. The temperatures are dropping. It's going to be in the 50s and even the 40s later this week. Can you believe that? Pumpkin spice lattes are a brewing. Fall is officially upon us, and there's no better place to celebrate than at Globe Life Field for the annual Fall Festival on November 2nd. The fan favorite event is back for a second straight year with plenty of new fall-themed activities to enjoy, including face painting, trick-or-treat stations, run the bases, carnival games, and much more, all directly on the field. The event runs from 12 to 4 p.m., and there will be a costume parade every hour, so be sure to wear your best Halloween costume. My go-to Halloween costume for the last 15 years has just been a Mavs ugly Christmas sweater, and I go as a confused party goer. And you're the first person to ever laugh at that, so thank you. Thank you for that radio laugh. Don't miss out on the fall event of the year at the home of the Texas Rangers. Tickets are on sale now at globelifefield.com/fall festival. Again, that's globelifefield.com/fall festival.
If you look good, you feel good. And if you feel good, you want to show it off, especially as we get into the fall season. You know how I know you can dress well? Is when you can dress in the fall. And Branded Bills can help you do that. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. If you're looking for some gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. And you can start your order today, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel that you need. In fact, we've got a all DLLS and also Branded Bills mashup hat right now that you could check out when it comes to the fantastic collection that Branded Bills has. They have a partnership with 40 colleges as part of their campus collection, including TCU, Texas, and Texas Tech as well. So make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use code BBDLLS for 15% off your first order. Again, that's BBDLLS for 15% off your first order with Branded Bills today. Mavericks fall 101-94 at home to the Oklahoma City Thunder as they drop to 1-3 on the season. They'll finish up their 5-game homestand on Wednesday at the American Airlines Center, where we go right now, where we welcome in our DLLS Mavs beat writer. He knows sports. His name is Ron Harrod Jr. Ron, good to see you. Thoughts, perspective. What the hell happened?
This was one of the more weird games to cover because it actually was close at halftime when it didn't feel close in the game. Like I looked at the percentages, and the Mavs are like 35% from the field. They're around 50. You're like, how's this game close? Then the Thunder kind of pull away in the third quarter. Like, okay, that feels like how the game goes. And then the Mavs come back in the fourth quarter and almost win the game with Jaden Hardy on the floor, nonetheless. So I think it just shows that basketball is a game of runs. It has to be played. It felt like after the game, Max Christie came to the podium. He just said, hey, we're playing with a lot of stress on the court. We see that in the tape that they were watching. I'm not sure if he meant specifically today. He used the word tape, so I'm assuming he means all the previous games. And I guess that's why he's deemed the offense to be kind of stagnant in moments.
Playing with stress?
Stress.
Oh boy, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Playing with.
Well, I mean, they're
He
just
said,
depressing.
No,
playing with
I'm
a
just
lot
saying,
of
like,
stress.
it's just
A lot of
That,
stress.
that just means that nothing is easy.
that's
like,
what I mean.
Nothing's coming easy
ultimately
for
wrong.
them,
It's like nothing
Essentially.
is easy for this team. If you're playing with that kind of stress, where you're trying to make things, or you're feeling that you're working hard. Like, I'm trying to get words out of my mouth. To get offense.
Dude.
Yeah, like
Same.
it's hard. Everything feels hard. Thank you. Everything feels hard on offense for them so far.
That's
this
basically
year.
what he said. I mean, he basically he can't say that. So this is a very more nice way of saying that. Like, oh, we're playing, like we're stressing the court. Like you said, what he means is the shot quality is like some of the worst in the NBA. They physically, like, some players are just having, a hard time getting open. I heard you all talking about Klay Thompson before I kind of came on, and Klay just can't seem to get open shots. When he does get them, he hasn't made a lot of them. The problem is he's getting like maybe two open shots a game, and a lot of them are just like contested middies, and that's not going to get it done.
What did Jason Kidd have to say in his post game remarks?
Yeah, so one of the things I think that I thought was interesting in the game was that SGA only had two free throw attempts. And I mean, he was averaging 40 coming into the game. So I think even holding him to what he was held to is pretty good overall. So I asked kind of like, what did he say to Max Christie and PJ Washington kind of before the game? And he said he just overall just thought they played really well. They watched his tendencies, and they just did their best as a team to not foul him. Now, he said that, again, they still have to play, stronger defense. That's something that they're working on. But he did said, I think someone asked about the offensive scheme, and he said he thought, again, like they were coming along. So it seems like, the team has shown flashes. Max Christie also said that. Somebody asked Max Christie like what did he think that the team was doing well? And he talked about he thought they were showing flashes on offense and defense. He said, I guess it hasn't been consistent, but he said he's seen flashes of great play.
I like Galkajan's optimism. Pretty good game, best defensive game of the season.
I do think defensively they looked all right.
They did.
They looked pretty good.
You held basically until the last few seconds. You held the Thunder to under 100 points. Like, they barely cleared.
I mean,
100.
they shot like crap,
They
but still. But
the
Yeah,
problem
the Thunder
is
only made 6 threes.
Yeah, you only made 6 from downtown, and they were awful from 3. The problem is, as good as you were defensively, you were just as horrendous on the offensive end, which I don't know if you've heard of that. You got to score more points than the other team to win a game, and this team has trouble doing that portion of it.
They say anything about Coop? Anyone say anything about Coop?
Somebody, he had like a wrap on his shoulder. I think he got hit like basically the first play of the game, which I'm pretty sure a lot of Mavs fans saw. Jason Kidd did not guarantee that he'll play next game. He also didn't rule him out. He said he's a tough kid. He said he toughed out. He finished the game, but he said his shoulder is sore. He didn't give like a injury, he didn't say like it was like a strained shoulder. He didn't give like a specific designation, but he just said the shoulder is very sore and he is wearing a wrap.
The good news is like he was able to bring his arm above. Like if it was like structurally damaged, he would not have been able to move that.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Yeah, you could tell that after the hit happened and into the second quarter, he was constantly rotating that left shoulder, trying to keep it loose and stretched out. So we'll obviously watch that over the next couple of days before they take on Indiana on Wednesday. What else did you notice from your observations of tonight's game that stood out to you on the lack of offense, or what they did well on defensively, especially to get themselves back in it in that fourth quarter there?
Well, so D'Angelo Russell is like this again. We talk about him every game at this point. He's just such a volatile player. Like he shot 3 of 14 from the field, but somehow he was a +7. And I thought about like, okay, how is that even possible? And then I thought, well, I think it's just physically because even when he's not shooting well in the game, the offense is just still more smooth with him in there regardless. And it's a sad point to be at for Mavs fans where even a player as volatile as D'Angelo Russell somehow is still making the offense significantly better when he's off the court. But it seemed like every time he gets in, the offense does seem just to be more smooth. And I think that's kind of clearly a problem because he can't be 3 for 14, even though he's passing the ball well. But overall, Max Christie, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis. They continue to have strong games. I thought Anthony Davis would have maybe a bigger performance, but at the end of the day, he had 26 points. It's probably going to be around his season average. I think he played kind of to his level at this point. But we are still waiting for that big Anthony Davis 35, 15 rebound game where he kind of dominates the game. I'm still waiting on that. But overall, I think Anthony Davis had an extremely good game and kind of, even bullied from Chet Holmgren in the paint somewhat to Isaiah Hardenstein, which are two of the best defenders in the NBA.
I think with the whole D'Lo situation, if you're wanting to find some rhythm and consistency, look, his shot from time to time obviously is going to be, up and down. But we've talked about it plenty on this post-game show and over the last, 24, 48 hours. The offense runs better when he's at the point and running things. So as I have wanted to see D'Lo, Clay, I don't mind the whole point forward situation with Cooper Flagg. He can be a secondary playmaker and creator. He doesn't need to be the primary one. So if you've got D'Lo, you got Clay, you got some shooting, you got some spacing, let Cooper Flagg do the point forward thing with PJ and then AD, at the 5. But again, the question then becomes, where do the minutes come from for Daniel Gafford and for Derek Lively when those two are healthy? That is going to be a big question once all of them are healthy and how Jason Kidd balances it. But that, to me, is how I would go about the starting lineup. But I'm not the coach, obviously, and they've got bigs that they've got to figure out a way to play to make this thing shake.
If you want to play your best players, then you're not playing Clay.
I mean,
what did I say earlier?
To be fair,
I said he's a ceremonial starter. That's why he's in there, because
all of his on-off stuff is worse than D'Lo's is good.
That's what I'm saying. Like
it's.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
It's very uncomfortable.
I'm not disagreeing with you. If they're gonna go with Clay as the starter for posterity, like it's just that's what it would be.
Yeah.
But low key, Max Christie, I would slide into Clay's spot and let Clay come off the bench. But again, Clay's getting paid $17 million, and he's going to be the starter.
Yeah, like Clay's starting the game. He's not closing games. He's not playing the top 5 most minutes tonight. Like he didn't play more minutes than D'Lo. He didn't play more even minutes than Najee Marshall tonight. So he's starting the game, but it's almost like in football when you have like your base defense, but like the league plays nickel and dime. Like no one cares about the 4-3. Like
hey,
we're going to go nickel and dime.
Hey, don't you start that football stuff. I got enough of that with this guy. Well, on this program.
No, I think it's great.
Acting like a fake football.
I think it's great that you brought that up. But I also through 4 games. I mean, for what it's worth, and again, it's worth as much as you want it to be worth. But the Mavs have been outscored by 52 points with Clay on the floor through 4 games, and
not great.
Sadly, that kind of feels earned.
He's going to continue to start. He's going to continue to start. So,
and to be fair to Clay, at this point in his career, he's probably not a shooting guard anymore. He's probably a small forward. Probably a title contender, he's probably guarding 4s. So he's pretty miscast too, where he's being kind of asked to do things that his body is almost not capable of on a night-to-night basis. There's going to be spurts. There's going to be flashes with Clay. He's still Klay Thompson. But on a night-to-night basis, can he guard 1s and 2s anymore? Probably not. The man tore his Achilles. He tore his ACL. It's just not even really fair to Klay Thompson. Basically, on the offensive end, he's not really getting a lot of screens. There's no, Draymond Green or Daniel Gafford level screener on the court. So he's not really able to do that. Anthony Davis is a good screener, but he's also looking to gas.
Well, there's no one to get him the ball.
Yeah, that's the other part.
Everything about it is bad.
It's just there's no spacing. There's
Which
no one to give him the ball.
He is a symptom, not the problem. He's not the disease.
Agreed.
He's just a symptom.
Agreed.
Yes. He's a cold, not the flu. You get it?
I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to do that because why? Why at this point? Anything else before we let you go?
Najee Marshall, I thought there were flashes tonight. Was it consistent? No. Does he have to shoot better? Yes. But I thought there was some flashes of good play. The only thing really I want to see out of Najee Marshall, I thought defensively it was okay. There was a bunch of 3-point shots that Najee Marshall could have taken. He decided to pass up and try to get to the lane, and it didn't work. So maybe he'll continue to pass up open 3-point shots to try to get to the lane. But eventually, that's going to be, if I'm saying that, I don't have the scouting report tape. Other teams are seeing you not be willing to take the 3-point shot. And if you're not doing that, they're not going to guard you. And if you're not going to guard you, the spacing's not going to be good. And we all know what happens when the Mavericks have bad spacing, everybody. So I would like to see Najee Marshall take open threes. I think he can make them.
They need somebody to knock down some threes outside of Max Christie.
Bobby, I saw that, by the way. I saw that, Bobby.
Well, the issue, like, I think Najee is kind of, the knife is kind of being miscast. He does not fit in on a team of non-shooters. Like, he needs to be the one non-shooter, you know, but instead he's out there with 3 or 4 guys that you don't want shooting. And like, it leads to this, man. And
Najee's better when he's attacking and getting downhill.
But his stats are suffering.
He's a slasher.
I need him to be he's the 7th man of the year.
Yeah.
That's what we've been saying. He's the 7th man of the year, but not if this keeps happening.
He knows sports. His name is Ron Harrod Jr. He's our DLLS Mavs beat writer. Good enough to join us from the AAC. Ron, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you tomorrow here on the show.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye, Ron.
Take our final break here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we welcome in our national NBA insider, Marc Stein, live from the AAC. His thoughts on tonight's game and the latest, hopefully, on Cooper Flagg as he's dealing with a left shoulder situation. We'll talk about it next.
But hey, you should become a diehard, all right? And for the next 2 minutes, I'm going to tell you why. First off, it's a great way to support what we're doing here at DLLS Sports. So many of you are already subscribed to the channel or are participating in chat. And we really appreciate that. Hopefully you're liking the video. If you dislike the video, hey, keep that thumbs down to yourself. Just kidding. Yeah, like, subscribe, rate, review, do all that stuff. It's fantastic. But if you want to take your sport one step further, then you can become a diehard. You can scan that QR code. That is going to, there you go. It's going to appear right there. You can scan that or go to our website, alldlls.com. And whenever you do that, you get a lot in return, Kevin. It's not just the pleasure of knowing that you're helping our operation here. No, you get a free shirt of your choice right when you sign up. We got more than 50 to choose from, including, look at those. Those are some nice shirts.
The face-off collection.
Those are some nice Stars shirts. I like that one with the old logo, man. In the spirit of the Mavs throwback, I like that one too.
Yeah, and that other one is perfect for Lutz because he loves crushing a beer too.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
You get a free one of your choice, but fret not. You actually get a discount on all the other merch. So if you like 15 shirts, well, you can get a discount, a 20% discount, to be exact, on all of those. You also get a 20% discount on events. You get to read our website, all the written content at alldls.com from folks like Ron, Clarence Hill, Ali Jawad, Jeff Wilson, Sam Nestler, Sean Shapiro. You also get to join the DLS Diehard Discord, which I'm going to hop into as soon as this show is over. You also get the physical diehard card.
That's right, man.
Last but not least.
That's right.
And if you just want to support us for free, well, hey, you can subscribe to the newsletter. Go to alldls.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom, give us your email address, and we will send you news to your inbox every single morning.
Hey, real quick, man. Well, I don't know what's getting into these players in the NBA, but I saw Tanner throw it as a throwaway comment. But Lauri Markkanen had 51 tonight?
Yep.
I mean, granted, it took overtime, but yes.
But still, like, what is going on?
As Marc Stein tweeted earlier about all the 50-point games already, I have another one.
Shea had 55. Aaron Gordon had 50. Lauri Markkanen's got 51. Who else had a 50-point game?
Reeves.
Austin Reeves had 51 last night against the Kings. I don't know what's in the water right now, but it is kind of insane what's happening in the league in terms of these outputs from these performances. But Lauri Markkanen with 51 tonight as the Jazz get a win at home, 138 to 134 over the Suns. He went 17 to 17 from the line. Adam Mares, shout out to you. Let's go back out to the AAC and welcome in our national NBA.
Ooh, new location.
Oh, I like it too. He's holding the mic, Tim Cato. He's our national NBA.
Hold on.
Oh, we're back.
There's been a lot of improvisation going on here because hold on.
I love
my
this.
normal spot is unavailable. The Thunder interviews have gone long. National Tim's old favorite spot. The music was bumping so loud there was going to be no podcasting from that location. I have no idea where Ron is speaking from, but with the help of some kind AAC personnel, located 2 chairs, a stray garbage can, and I'm holding the mic, but here we are.
Well, that does feel kind of symbolic.
It does in more ways than one. Yes, Luka had 49 as well the other last week.
Unfortunately, this mic is as heavy as our diehard card, so I might have to switch hands here on occasion. But
you should be strong enough to hold it then, because you hold the whole card the entire time. You're okay. Mavericks offense is not okay. In fact, they didn't clear 95 after dropping a $139 last night against the Toronto Raptors. Before we get to anything offensively, let's just start with what's on everybody's mind. Cooper Flagg took a shot to the left shoulder at the beginning of tonight's game and was seen throughout the course of the game, not only trying to stretch the thing out, but as you also noted, had a wrap around the shoulder, ice on it as well. What's the latest with Cooper Flagg?
The latest is that we're probably not going to get anything definitive until tomorrow. Jason Kidd said the Mavs want to see how it feels in the morning when Cooper Flagg gets up. I mean, the only good news I guess I can relay throughout the game, the pack was being applied to his left shoulder every time he was getting on the bench, but there was never a sense that he wasn't coming back in. I mean, he did, in the fourth quarter, the game got close enough that they brought him back. So, I mean, it was clear he was going to play through it, but it was also clear that it happened early and it bothered him all night. So, unfortunately, in terms of something definitive, again, I don't think we're going to get anything before tomorrow. He didn't, like I said, there was never a point where you thought he wasn't going to keep playing, but obviously he's dealing with the OKC defense, and a shoulder issue was the last thing that he needed. But I mean, I guess when I zoom out, it was a more competitive game at the half and at the end than I was expecting. I mean, I thought with no Lively, no Gafford, obviously no Kyrie. I mean, I thought this was going to be a lopsided loss from the jump. The 3-ball woes, they were evident throughout, but the fact that they found a way to make this thing a game with some really good fourth quarter defense, and Jaden Hardy came to life and some shot making finally started to happen. I didn't anticipate any of that happening. I thought this was going to be ugly along the lines of that third quarter when the Mavs just got absolutely dominated in the paint. Now, Cooper said post-game that he'll be getting scans tomorrow. He doesn't seem concerned. Obviously, there have to be scans after any kind of injury concern like we saw, but that's really as much as we know at this point.
Well, the Mavericks will have they will not play tomorrow, obviously, before they get back on the floor on Wednesday to take on Rick Carlisle and the Indiana Pacers.
The Pacers are already here, by the way. The Pacers are already here. That's the good news for the Pacers. Obviously, their injury situation is maybe the league's worst right now. I mean, no Halliburton, no Mathurin, no TJ McConnell, no Nebhard. They've signed Mac McClung, who obviously has a local following from his college days. I mean, but they are woefully shorthanded, but we also know Carlisle will have some kind of game plan to get them playing at a fast pace no matter who he has out there.
So Rick Carlisle celebrated his birthday today in Dallas.
That is what I believe to be the case. Yes.
Honestly, that's probably why they're here. So he could see his family.
Yeah.
And I have a question for you, Mark, but also KG, you can speak on this because you were in the building as well. Granted, not in the final minutes. So on the broadcast, and I'm not doing this to take a shot at Mavs fans or whatever, but on the broadcast, there's like 3 or so minutes left. The Mavs are making a push. Crowd's going, getting pretty loud, and Followell goes, "There's the energy in the building." And then Devin Harris on the call goes, "Yeah, it only took us about 45 minutes. Now, I know the Mavs were down double figures. They got blown out in game 1. Game 2, they were against the Wizards. They were losing by 1 million. Ended up only losing by 10. But what is the environment inside the arena like throughout the game, but even during the fourth quarter, whenever things are finally going pretty well?
Well, like I said, for a half, I mean, I came in here thinking the Mavs had no chance tonight. Now, obviously, OKC has some injury issues as well. They still haven't seen Jalen Williams. Caruso didn't make the trip. Isaiah Joe, who we know has hurt the Mavs on many an occasion, he wasn't playing either. So, I mean, they were not at full strength. But just remember the last play of the first half when PJ Washington took it upon himself to, deal with SGA, and same thing in the fourth quarter. KG's guy, PJ Washington, was really strong defensively tonight. And the fourth quarter, it was lively in here, but it just, they're actually, for as many problems as we're talking about with the offense, they are creating corner opportunities. And a lot of times I think they're not seeing it. They're not sending the ball to the corner where there's somebody there to take an open shot. The ball's just not getting there. And then obviously they get this thing down. They were down 22. They get it down to 1. Something tells me I will not be alone in saying I didn't love the shot choice there with D'Angelo Russell hoisting a 3 when he's
definitely not alone.
No, not
already 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. I mean,
but this one will be different.
Yeah, I mean, so like they gave themselves an opportunity with really good defense in the fourth quarter. Hardy finally came alive. Hardy got a number of catch and shoots and converted them. I mean, you hold Oklahoma City to 14 in the fourth quarter. I mean, you have to feel good about that. And just when they finally had the opportunity to actually take the lead, that possession, I think they would like back.
No, for sure. And unfortunately, with the loss tonight, it ensures that they will have a losing homestand to start the year, with their final one being on Wednesday. We've talked about plenty on this show the need to get off to a good start. You were screaming from the rooftops that you did not like the idea of starting with 5 straight home games. Well, Mr. Stein, you have been proven correct so far with the idea.
Yeah, well, I think I also guaranteed a win against Washington, so I wouldn't be bestowing any crowns or titles on me. And look, they have to win. They have to take advantage of the state the Pacers are in, and at least come out of this 2-3. And look, things were feeling so bleak after Washington that 2-3 doesn't sound horrible in that context. Again, I thought opening night to lose by 30-something is terrible against your rivals. But at least you could pin that to maybe not to a large degree, but you could. Wemby was so good. I mean, I thought that was the best game Wemby's probably ever played. So you could at least rationalize getting housed by some degree. To some degree, you could rationalize it by the fact that Wemby was not going to lose that game to anyone on opening night. The Wizards' loss in a lot of ways was worse to me. And so to come out of this 2-3, if they can take care of business and beat a very shorthanded Indiana team, I guess you have to live with that. But I mean, look, did you guys, I had no expectation. I came in here tonight with no illusions that this was going to end well. And, again, they had a chance in the fourth quarter that I was never expecting. I'm just being honest.
I mean, it got ugly in that third quarter. I thought it was on our way to a 30-point blowout after that third quarter, the way things
went. My old colleague Bobby Marks at ESPN, I think he tweeted the Thunder shot chart from the third quarter. It was a lot of baskets inside the painted area.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah. And then in the fourth quarter, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn and struggled. And credit to the Mavs defense for doing that, but it was unfortunately too little, too late.
A lot of blow-bys, only 4 blocks. Not great.
I mean, AJ Mitchell was going anywhere he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it felt. That's how it felt.
And he took turns doing that against the whole team.
Yeah,
it wasn't just one guy who was going
Everybody
out
got
on
picked
that.
on.
That was bad. That was bad.
And Hardenstein, I thought was
So
incredible
excuse me, our colleagues who are in the locker room still say that Cooper Flagg has the shoulder wrapped, but again, we're just going to have to see tomorrow when they can give it a test and see how it looks, see how he feels.
Mark, we appreciate the time as always. Thank you, sir, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, guys.
Bye, Mark. National NBA insider Marc Stein goes dial up the Stein line at the Stein line. That'll do it for us here on the DLLS.
We got,
Mavs.
I think, one super chat. Did we get the other one?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. My bad. Sorry.
It's time for us to go. We appreciate all of you joining us here on our post-game show. We'll be back tomorrow with our regular show at 12 p.m. ahead of the Mavericks taking on the Pacers on Wednesday. So tune in tomorrow at 12 p.m. right here for the DLLS Mavs podcast. Appreciate our guy Tanner making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. Also, thank you to our DLLS Mavs beat writer Harrod Jr. for joining us from the AAC. That is our analyst, Bobby Curl. I'm your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. Mavs fall 101-94 at home to the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.